let's talk about the final blow. That final thing, that final straw that breaks your back, where your illusion of reality suddenly crumbles. And I think you've all had those moments where you just suddenly realize that, what we're being told and how everyone else is reacting is not the rational approach to life in general, right? Where all this stuff about the materialism that you're being told that you're supposed to pursue. Now, we each have had moments like that where we had that aha moment that, this is all just a bunch of lies, right? One of my first wake-up moments was I was in just out of college. I just graduated college. I was backpacking on the Appalachian Trail, and I remember I was waiting to get picked up because I was kind of getting off the trail, and I was at this hostel, and this guy was kind of running the hostel. It wasn't his hostel. This lady ran the hostel, and she had this guy kind of do it for her, and I kind of was talking to him and found out that he was a full-time backpacker. He would hike, and then in the off seasons of hiking, he would get just a temporary job, earn some money, and then he would stay at like a hostel in the off season, and then he would, when the weather warmed up again, he would just go out hiking again and use the money that he had earned. And it just this kind of blew my 21-year-old mind, because I had been told, you got to get the job, you got to work hard, you got to build up the money, buy the house, and then save up for retirement, and then you need to go into retirement, and then you need to die. And that's just kind of what you do. And this guy was just kind of like, well, why? Why not just hike? And it's really cheap out there hiking if you do it on a budget, and just work for the money that you need, live somewhere cheaply, and then go back out again. I mean, he wasn't living off anybody, right? I mean, he wasn't taking unemployment. He wasn't taking food stamps or anything like that. He was just working and just living off what he worked, and he just really had low expenses. That kind of blew my mind. I remember I didn't follow him and become a hobo like him, but, a functional hobo. But he was an inspiration to me. Just kind of start thinking about, I don't need the nice car. I don't need these ways that you communicate to other people that you're wealthy. Those all don't really seem to have all that much. They're not really all that important. So when I came back from working overseas, I started living in my parents' basement. This was decades ago. Okay, so calm down. Living in my parents' basement so that I could work and save up money so that I could go back overseas. And I was doing that to kind of start small businesses in Central Asia. And it worked really well. We started a whole bunch of businesses up. But, that's good when you're in your early 20s. I am in my late 30s now, even though I may not look it. But in my early 20s, early mid-20s, that kind of made sense, and that's what I did. But now I don't do that anymore because I'm at a different stage of life, and that work over in Central Asia kind of fell apart due to issues and such. But what will it take for your neighbors to wake up? Like, what's going to be the final blow to them? When are they going to just suddenly be like, oh, there's something wrong? When is it going to be that they're going to go to pull out their cryptocurrency out of the FTX market and go, oh, it's not there. But they promised that it would be there, right? Now, they're probably all insured by the U.S. government and all that kind of stuff, but will that be a moment where a bunch of people wake up and realize that it's all just a bunch of people money laundering and scams? That most of the stuff that you are told is solid isn't really solid. That the supply chain that brings you your food, when you go to the McDonald's or Wendy's and they're like, we don't have any lettuce. Is that a moment that just kind of pops people's brains and have them wake up and go, oh, what's going on? I know a lot of people have come to this channel because they went to the store and they saw empty shelves and they said, what's going on? what's going on. And they typed in empty shelves into the YouTube search engine. And if you do that, you tend to pop up with my channel, okay? Because that's what we talk about a lot about here. We talk about a lot of food shortages. And I know some of the more experienced, more, the preppers who are like ready for Y2K sometimes look at this channel and say, why do you keep talking about this stuff that's obvious? It's because it's still those aha moments for new people. A lot of new people come in through this channel who start getting a lot of their questions answered. And so that's what this channel has been about over the past year and a half, has been about meeting people where they have that aha moment. If you've had an aha moment, could you pop it down in the comments down below? Make sure you're not using your name or anything that's going to, out you. But if you want to put a general kind of, what was it that kind of woke you up? Because it's good for us to be thinking about this, because there's a lot of people in our lives that we wish would wake up, right? There's a lot of people we wish would wake up. And if we know more kind of those trigger points of why a bunch of us woke up, maybe we can help point those things out to people that we love, that are in our lives, that we want to wake up. Let them see what's going on with this or what's going on with that. And just kind of sharing those things that really just hit you in your life, where you just go to the store and you want to go pick up, and it's just, where's the pasta? Where'd the pasta go? And you go like, oh, okay, well, they're having issue here at Walmart. Let's go over to the next store. And you go to the next store and you're like, there's no pasta here either. Why is there no pasta? Right? Can we all survive without boxed pastas? Yeah, we can. I mean, usually when the pasta was in shortage, like one aisle over was the flour. So, I mean, you could Google how to make pasta. I mean, nobody's starving just yet. But it is something that just kind of, the light bulbs go off in people's heads. Wait a minute, if they're having trouble putting pasta on the shelf, what if they have trouble putting something else on the shelf? It's a good question. That's a good question, folks. I mean, a lot of the times when the pasta was in shortage, it was like, things are good. There's nothing really big happening right now. An airplane didn't just fly into a World Trade Center or something like that. There's really no reason why pasta is in shortage. I was just at the store just 2 days ago, I think it was. And I did my report, and pasta was just disappeared again. I mean, I know we had an election, but we weren't electing SpaghettiOs or spaghetti. I mean, that really shouldn't impact pasta. So why wasn't there any pasta on the shelf? Because the system is not as solid as they would like you to believe. The banking system is not as solid as they'd like you to believe. The political system is not as solid as they'd like you to believe. You know what I'm saying? And the supply chain for food is not as resilient as you think it would be too. Really, and as we keep saying, the solution to all this is you need to take more control over your own life. You need to be interacting with the government at a much lower level. The people that are actually probably going to have more impact on your life, the people that decide whether you're allowed to build something on your property, the people that will show up when you call the police, those type of people, you might want to have more interaction with them and stop worrying quite so who's at the top. I'm not saying it's not important who's at the top, but this is what's going to, when the rubber hits the road, it's these people. These people are either going to come and back you up, or they're not going to back you up. And you need to be real clear on who these people are, and you need to be getting involved with who's in those positions. You might need to step up to get into one of those positions. At your school board, I'm sorry, but the people in Washington, D.C., they may have an impact on what books are chosen to be used as curriculum at your school, but it really comes down to your school board that makes a lot of those decisions on what curriculum is used at your school. Who's on your school board? If you have kids going through school, you better be real clear on who's on your school board and what you're doing to make sure that they're making wise choices, right? And how can we keep waking people up as we go along? waking people up, letting them have those aha moments where they suddenly realize things are not as we've been told they are. Everything's a lot more flimsy, a lot more cardboardy than it is solid, heavy oak. Help them to see that. Kind of push over some of the flim-flam sets. Let them see the truth for themselves, and we will have more and more people who realize that we need an alternative system. We need a more localized system where we can provide our own food, our own power, our own support to each other, and we can influence more of the government at the local level to make sure that those people up there leave us alone, right? All right, folks, if you found this video to be useful, helpful, you might want to check out this other video from me right here. Otherwise, I will see you later. Steve Poplar out.